Hello, welcome to the Lululoves Crochet Podcast, episode 16. My name is Emma and this is my podcast all about crochet and crafts, books and anything else I've been enjoying. I hope you're all well. I've been absent for a few weeks now. It wasn't intentional. My daughter finished her exams, so she's been off, so I've been enjoying spending time with her. All three children had their birthdays. We've been decorating, so it's just been really busy really, and I haven't actually had that much time to crochet, so yes, there's not really much to show you, but I will show you the few projects I've worked on, and I apologise for not being around. We'll just have to see how it goes now the holidays are here. So as usual, I will jump straight in with the crochet, and the first thing I will show you, actually I'll show you this. This is the shawl I was working on, the Victoria shawl by Sandra Paul from Cherry Heart. I was making it as part of Sandra's cowl, or make along, and I actually didn't get to finish it in time. I was really close. I think I just had a couple of rows of the border left, but I just couldn't get it finished in time. So you know that happens. So I was a little bit sad about that. I think that's probably one of the reasons I don't take part in many cowls, because you never know what's going to come up, and I had a few other things that needed finishing, so it just got put to one side. But it's beautiful, so I'll just show you. Oh, can you see that lovely edging? So pretty. I really love it. I really enjoyed working on it as well. I love all those puff stitches as well. It's beautiful. It's going to be so lovely for winter. I really like that dark grey border. I made this with the it was the Drops alpaca. I did actually have to order another ball of the lighter colour. I didn't quite have enough, but I'm really pleased with it. It's really soft. I haven't worn it yet. It's way too hot here at the moment, but yes, it's beautiful. So I'm really pleased that I finished that. I will put the show notes up on my blog. It's not a bit far away today. I will put the show notes up on my blog with all the details of the yarn colours I used and everything really. Although I'm going to try and film and edit this and get it up today, and then I will have to do the show notes, so they might be a bit delayed. I'm not sure. I'll see how I get on. Like I said, the children are all home. It's quite noisy here today. They're all downstairs. There's building work happening outside, so it's not ideal. So I apologise if there are interruptions. But yes, I'm really pleased with that. Such a beautiful pattern. So that's the Victoria shawl. So I did get that done, and I love it. I don't know where to put it now. Also, I feel really nervous today because I haven't filmed for about probably 5 or 6 weeks now. I think I've been putting it off. You know when you get out of the habit of something and then suddenly it seems like a really big deal. I don't know why, because I don't normally have any problems coming here and talking to myself for half an hour. But anyway, the other item I finished was a really quick make really. I am working on a project. I will show you in a minute. It's a top for my daughter. I'm not enjoying it at all, and when I show you it, you will understand why, I think. So I've been looking for distractions purposely really. Anyway, so I did a little stool makeover. My husband bought back a stool a while ago from the car boot sale. I think he paid about 50p or £1 for it. Anyway, we do use it in the living room quite a bit, but I did not like it really. It wasn't very pretty. So I did a bit of a crochet makeover for the top of it, and I think I'm going to paint the legs as well. But I will show you Oh, so this is the stool. It's going to be quite hard to show you, isn't it? And this is the top. Let me try and get in a bit closer. Oh, it was such good fun to make. So I did not follow a pattern. I just sort of worked it up as I went along and just kept checking back to the stool. And then what I did, because this is obviously quite lacy, I cut some cotton muslin to cover up the flowery, it was like a brown flowery pattern under there. But I really liked that. And it was really fun to be able to, you know, make something prettier. And it didn't take very long at all, really. So I was really pleased with that. But I will, it's so awkward to show you, I will try and take more pictures. And then you can see all I've done is just decrease quite rapidly to sort of make it tight underneath. So it just sits on. So I'll be able to wash it. Yeah, so hopefully that should last quite a while now. But I'll take more pictures of that and either insert them or put them in the show notes. So that was the other thing. I am out of practice, aren't I? The next project I have to show you, and this one is, I made this one with the, I don't know if you recall, I think it was the last podcast, I had bought the sheep years cotton. It was quite fine cotton. I don't have any with me. And I was thinking to make some doilies with it. But actually, we've got some lavender growing in the garden. So then I thought, well, maybe I'll make some pretty lavender sachets. So this is what I came up with. Oh, they're just so pretty little sachets made with that beautiful fine cotton yarn. And I used a 2mm hook for these. But you know, the yarn's lovely to work with. It's just cotton, and they didn't cause me any trouble at all. But the idea of these is, so I might have to put it closer. So if you can see, they've got a little tie, and then you can just unpull them, and then inside you pop your lavender sachet. So the nice thing about these is once you've made them, that's it then. You can, when your lavender loses its scent, you can just refill them. And I thought that they would make really beautiful teacher's gifts for the end of term. So I've actually made about 7 or 8 of these now, and Luna gave them to all her brownie leaders and some of the teachers from school. And it was lovely because she was able to fill them. So she would cut the muslin cloth and then fill the lavender and then tie them up. So, you know, it was a gift that she could sort of participate in making. So she was quite proud of that. But yeah, they look really pretty. The pattern is actually already up on my blog for these. So I was quite organised. So I wrote out the pattern. It's very simple and it's available on my blog for free. You could also use, I have seen on Instagram, some people have made this design with just DK cotton, and obviously they're going to be bigger, but they still look really pretty. So I think they would make really beautiful wedding favours as well. You know, if you wanted to, there we go, if you wanted to put something special out for your guests, it's not going to cost a lot of money. And of course, you know, this time of year there's lavender everywhere, so, but you could fill them with other rose petals or anything really, even little sugared almonds. So, yes, I was really pleased with those, although I'm a bit sick of making them now, I won't lie. So, I'm glad that's done. So, and that is the only other finished object I have to show you. I will just quickly show you a work in progress. This is the piece that I'm making for my daughter, and it is the piece that I am not enjoying so much. She basically came to me with a photograph of a vintage jumper and she loved it, and she said, oh, do you think you could make me something like this? And you know, when they ask me, I can't say no really. So I said, yeah, that shouldn't be too hard to make. It was just a granny square jumper really. Anyway, she wanted the rainbow colours, you know, and she's quite into that sort of 70s crochet. Well, anyway, here I won't lie, it's giving me quite a headache working with all these colours. It is just not me at all. Although look at them, don't they look absolutely beautiful? Like I love seeing colour on other people, but for me, I don't know, it just makes my head hurt. So but I can see that it's going to be a really lovely jumper. I did make a bit of an error really, because what I've done is I've made 4 almost like daisy motifs, and then I've joined them, and I think I was so eager to get started on it for her that I did not join them as you go, which is how I would normally join my granny squares. It's just easier for me, and I think it always looks a bit neater. So the first one I joined, and I deliberately joined with a contrast colour, so I joined them with a slip stitch. Can you see that? Yeah, there it is. It gives this ridge along the end. By the front, you know, I've just slip stitched through the back loops. I just feel like it's a little bit messy, because no matter how hard I try to keep my slip stitches loose, they have pulled the squares in a bit. So for the back of the jumper, the next time, obviously I had to carry on, I just whip stitched them together with a needle and thread, and I feel like that has given a much tidier result. I don't think Kyra's going to be too worried that one has been slip stitched and one has been whip stitched, because you can't really tell the difference. I mean, I can, but I can block that first piece square, so I'm not too worried. So the idea is it will be just a very simple jumper. Let me find the front. I know this bit is the front because I've started doing a little bit of shoulder work. So the idea is it just really goes straight across, although I have just started to put, yeah, there we go, just a few little shoulder bits, just so that it's not going to be right up here on her, and I will do the same on the back just to give it a little bit of a neck, and then it will have rainbow sleeves as well that sort of flare out. This type of project I could have really done in a weekend, and I've been working on it for about 3 weeks now, so I am really drawing it out. So I thought one way to make it more satisfying would be to create something similar for myself in yarns that, you know, I enjoyed working with. So I am making one up for myself in cotton, and as I go along I will write up what I'm doing so that I can pop a pattern up. So these are the colours I have picked for mine. And on mine I have joined my squares as I go, so I don't have any seams. There we go. Oh, that's much more me. I am going to keep it nice and light and neutral, and probably most of it will be white. And it will be long sleeve, so I think it will be more of a transitional piece. So this is what I'm working on. I'm sort of almost experimenting with colours because I know she's not going to be too worried. She'll probably wear it for you know, a couple of weeks and then be bored of it. I'm using all acrylic yarns for her, which I haven't enjoyed working on in this heat. But you know, I just couldn't wear it. But I think she will look lovely in it. You know, she's young and she just enjoys colour. So but yeah. So I will get on now, I think, and work out how to do some sleeves. I think my preference is to join them, you know, to seam up the jumper and then just do the seams in the round. But but just because I feel that sort of sleeve is easier to, if you want to write up a pattern, it's easier for people to follow because it's adjustable. It's, you know, you seam up to where you want to and then you just go on around. But I've got a feeling, because I want to do the flared sleeves, it might be easier just to work them up first. I'm not sure. I don't really like seaming garments, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's my work in progress. That's my main project. I have got another couple of little projects on the go, one of which I've left in the car, so I can't show you. And the other one's something and nothing at the moment. So I'm hoping I will have that done and then my version done as well before autumn starts. Well, I really look forward to wearing that. Yeah, and that's making it, you know, bearable because I can switch between between the two. Just look at that. I don't think you'll ever see colours like that on this podcast again. So let's just take a moment and, you know, appreciate all those colours. There we go. They do look so good on camera, I can't deny it, but yes. So that's that, and that is all I have to show you crochet wise. What we're doing for time, we're all right. I figured out that my camera cuts out after half an hour, so I'm going to try and keep all these podcasts within 30 minutes. I will show you a few new things I've got, and the first are these lovely crochet hooks. I was sent to try out from a gentleman called Alan Marshall, and his company is Bold Tech Wood Turning. I will put all the details in the description bar below and also in the podcast notes. He asked if I would like to try out his hand-turned crochet hooks, which of course I said yes. So he has sent me two made of local woods. I can't remember off the top of my head what the woods are actually. I'll put that in the details below as well, just so that you don't have to go over to the website to check. So he sent me a 5mm to try. These are beautiful, absolutely stunning. Look at that. It's gorgeous. And try and show you. It's nice and sharp. It doesn't catch on any of the yarns, and although they don't look like it because they're quite chunky, they're so light. They are really easy to work with. I really enjoyed using them actually, and I crochet. I mean, I don't know, you know, the comfort of your crochet hook really depends on how you hold it. So for example, I can't use I can't use this type of crochet hook. The reason I can't use these is because it's flat like that, and I hold my crochet hook like you would a knife, and I just find that irritates my hand along there. So I do prefer you know, round crochet hooks. So I wasn't really sure how I would get on with this. You know, obviously I'm holding it like that, but actually it's really comfortable. Really, really comfortable. Now he does all sizes. I've got a 4mm, so this is my 4mm. Look at that, it's beautiful. Absolutely stunning, the work. And if you go over to the Bold Tech Wood Turning Facebook page, you can see Alan actually making these. It's really incredible to watch. And then the one I've already shown you is that's a 5mm. And he has got so many different types of wood, so you can, you know, pick woods that are local to you. And I think if you go smaller than a 3.75, I might be wrong on that, what he does is he puts a metal hook inside, so you really need a sort of 4mm or bigger for those, but they're stunning. They're so well made, they're beautiful. I really have enjoyed working with them. They are definitely the prettiest hooks I own. So thank you, Alan. I really did love those. So go and have a look at his Facebook page, or I think he has Instagram as well, but I will find all the details and link them below. He also does some beautiful yarn bowls. Really lovely. So I was very lucky to be sent those. And then I have also got some new yarn that I bought. It is all various ombre kind of, what are they called? Gradient yarns. So I bought 2 of the Batik Swirl by Stylecraft. These are 80% premium acrylic, 20% wool. I think these are Aran weight. Yes, they must be. Oh, maybe not, because there's 4mm. Or maybe they are DK. Yes, I think they probably are. Anyway, here's the first colour. Isn't that beautiful? This one is called Purple Mist. Ooh, I love that. And the other one I bought was, what's this one called? Meadow. I bought this one to make something for Lulu for winter. I just thought that would be really pretty, worked up. Maybe a hat and a scarf set. Oh, I do actually really love those colours. There's me saying, oh, I don't like anything too bright, but I just love that. So I'm looking forward to working with that, and I really struggled to pick colours. It does say that on the reverse of the label, well, this one says it, but that one doesn't. It says that there's a free pattern that comes with the ball, and I don't know if it's that. It might be. I haven't had a look, but it's beautiful. So I bought one for Lulu, and I bought this one for me. I will try and do something with that. I started thinking about all the lovely autumn wear that I can crochet, even though I can't really stand to use wool at the moment. The other sort of gradient yarn I bought was this. This is from Red Heart Boutique, and it's called Unforgettable. It's 100% acrylic. It looks ever so soft, but look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at those colour changes. I just love that. It's quite hairy. It's almost a bit mohairy. It feels soft, so I'm not sure. I've never tried it, but it's nice to try some different yarns. And then the last one I bought was another, and thank you to everyone who commented on how I should be pronouncing this. I am going with sheep yes. Sheep yes? Sheep yes. Sheep yes. So, this is one of their frosted whirls. So I've used a whirl before in the, was it the Lost in Time shawl? Anyway, this is one of their frosted whirls, and I don't know if you can see, but it has almost like metallic thread running through it. It's really pretty, and I really liked these. My camera just, I really these sort of autumny colours. So I'm looking forward to. Making something with that. This is 57% cotton and 38% acrylic, 5% Lurex polyester for a 3.5 to 4mm hook. So I don't know if it's DK or if it's 4-ply. Again, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to using that. Now my camera is flashing at me and I've got books to talk about, so I think I'm just going to pause, reset, and I will be back in a moment. Okay, so I'll just talk quickly about the books that I've been reading. I have read quite a few, I think because I've not been crocheting as much. So I will go through these in order, but bearing in mind, it's over a month ago I read some of them. So anyway, the first one I've enjoyed is The Hoarder, and this one's by Jess Kidd. And this was a really, really good story. Basically, it's about a carer that goes to look after an old gentleman. He is a hoarder, and while she's in the house, lots of strange things keep happening. Photos appear out of nowhere, and you know, they start to delve into his wife's death, and you know, there are pictures of children. So she really starts to get inquisitive about his life, and he is a really, he's just a really grumpy old man, really. But yes, it's a really, really good twist, really good story. I loved that. So that's that one. The second one I've got here is The Rules of Magic, and this is by Alice Hoffman. This is the prequel to Practical Magic. I never read Practical Magic, but I absolutely loved the film. And so if you love the film, you will definitely love this one. This one is about it's the story of the two aunts that are in the movie, Jet and, I can't remember what the other one's called. No, I can't remember. But anyway, it's the story of their childhood and growing up and discovering their powers, and really it's about the the curse that's been placed on the family, you know, if they fall in love. So it's really, really lovely again. I really enjoyed that, whizzed through that. The next one I read was Social Creature, A Friendship to Die For, and this is by Tara Isabella Burton. This is a thriller. It is, it's just a really good read. It's a bit, if you ever watched the film Single White Female, I think it had Jane Fonda in it. It's a bit like that. It's the story of a girl called Louise who is a bit down on her luck. She's working multiple jobs to make ends meet. She hasn't, you know, she feels she hasn't really succeeded in her life, and she comes and sort of meets a girl called, I think her name's Lavinia. She is very eccentric, very excessive. You know, she has a lot of money. She's supported by her parents, and she lives a very lavish, carefree lifestyle. Anyway, they become friends, and Lavinia's quite needy and quite, she's just quite a high maintenance friend, really, and she pulls Louise into this very extravagant world, which, you know, makes her get more into debt. She eventually loses her job. She moves in with her, and she can never quite meet the demands of this friend that she looks up to, and she's introduced her to this world that she doesn't really want to say goodbye to. So it is a thriller. It is very good. You feel for both characters, really. Yeah, definitely worth a read. And then the last one that I've read recently, I've just finished this actually, Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. And this is by Fanny Flagg. Now, I remember watching the film for this a long time ago with my mum, actually, and I was in Waterstones. I was actually looking for the first Poldark book. I had a gift voucher, so but they didn't have it in, so this was on the shelf, and I thought, oh, anyway, I really enjoyed that as well. Yeah, it's just a really good read, really. What I will do is I will write up some notes, you know, more about the stories of each of these books, and put them in the show notes. So, you know, if you do fancy having, you know, finding out a bit more about them before you read them, I will do that and save my memory. But I enjoyed this one. I think probably I preferred the other three more, but yeah, it was still a good read and a nice quick one as well. Then the last book I have to show you is one I found in the charity shop. This one is called Glorious Crocheted Sweaters. Now I'm looking at this and I'm just trying to think, did I show you this last time? I'm not sure if I did or not. I don't think I did actually, because no, the last one had Christmas jumpers in, didn't it? This has got some really lovely designs. I mean, you know, a bit vintage, but the stitches, I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. Can you see that? Yes, that's gorgeous. What else did I like in here? I picked this book up in the charity shop. It was £1.99. So I couldn't walk away without it, really. Well, I could. Look at these. It's a bit of fun, aren't they? Love that. And there are lots of you know, colour work and some really interesting. And there are some simpler designs. I mean, oh, that's post crochet. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but that's really lovely. And that, look at that. See that? Yeah, it's all crochet, so it's a really good. I think it's really good value. Just some really lovely jumpers, and I actually probably would make a couple of those. Just chock-a-block, really. Oh yeah, more than 60 sweaters. So yeah, I was really pleased to find that. That is it. I'm hoping that this all worked out all right. Like I said, I feel like I'm a bit out of the habit, so I can't promise to podcast every 2 weeks throughout the holidays, but I definitely will pop in with another podcast. I'm just not sure. Yeah, the children are off for 6 weeks now, so I definitely will try and keep up with it, but you know what it's like, it's very hard, and I do want to give them my full attention, really. So I will be back maybe two weeks, maybe 3 weeks, but I will definitely be back soon, and I will put all the notes for everything I've mentioned up on a blog post, and that's it, really. So I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying the summer. I hope you are not too affected by the heat. I feel bad about moaning about the heat, really, because we haven't had a summer like this in such a long time, but I am finding it quite hard going, so God knows how, you know, some people must be really struggling. Anyway, I digress. Have a lovely summer, and I will be back soon. Take care. Bye.